Today I'm going to be unboxing the DJI Air 2S. This guy right here. That guy right there. Take a little look at that. As a little bit of a backstory, I've had the DJI Air 2 for a couple of years now, and I decided it was time to upgrade. I wanted to use the DJI RC, which is the remote controller that has the screen built in, so this is compatible with that. And last night I took the plastic wrap off, I started to open it, and I said, no, this needs to be a video, this needs to be shared, so that if you are considering purchasing the DJI Air 2S, you too can experience this. You'll be able to see what it's all about. So without further ado, really taking this time. Oh, jeez. Before I really start with this, I need to just show you how beautifully this is packaged. I will say, DJI always includes in their Fly More combos these sort of like cloth material purse type bags. And they always get too crowded for me because if you don't have it perfectly organized and perfectly layered one on top of another with the batteries or the controllers or whatever, it just feels cramped. And I always worry that like if it drops or something, it's going to break. So I did buy a separate hard shell case for this to go in, but that's not what we're talking about today, is it? It's not. Before we get to the main event, I don't even know if this is, can you call it an unboxing if you can't get it unboxed? We got a nice little accessories pouch here. So let's see what we're working with. What a chaotic way to open this. That was not the open tab. If you are watching this and you're a millennial, throw out your boxes. It's okay to throw out the boxes. You can do this. Safety guides, user guides, keep those. Obviously, with the Fly More combo, you get a ton of extra rotors, 12 extra rotors. So I doubt you're going to go through that many, but it's great to have the extra just in case. And then, of course, we just have some miscellaneous things here. We have a USB to USB-C. We got a couple of extra controller sticks. These are for the controller that comes with the Air 2S, where you can connect up your iPhone to the USB-C slot on the controller. But I'm not going to be using that. I'm using the RC, so I'm not even going to bother with those. Those are going to go right back in there. The thing that I'm really excited about, because it's not included anymore in their higher end, like in the Mavic 3 Classic, the Mavic 3 Regular, and the Mavic 3 Cine Fly More combos, you don't get this, is the ND filters. So that's a satisfying little sound. I always love DJI's packaging. Look at that. How can you not look at that and say, like, that's just flipping beautiful. You can see my grid there. These look so nice. They're always super high quality. It looks like we have an ND 4, 8, 16, and 32 in case you're feeling really frisky and flying directly into the sun. If you're not super familiar with what ND filters do, they're essentially like sunglasses for your camera. So if you're flying around like a sunset, for example, you don't have to crank your shutter speed way up and get this kind of jittery look. You can keep your shutter speed, if you're shooting in 24 frames per second, you can keep your shutter speed right around 1/50th of a second, and you can throw one of these guys on and your exposure will be correct. I think it's time we move on to the main event. I make these sounds even if camera's not on. I will say that this carrying case does feel a little bit higher quality than some of the ones that I felt from DJI before. Still doesn't change my mind, and I'm still glad that I bought an extra hard shell case that has some foam cut out for it. But let's take a gander. So first of all, we have another accessories box here. Batteries, charger, charging block. Whoop. So it's a little battery mount. And I'm going to talk about those little battery mounts in a second because that is actually one of the reasons why I love the Fly More combo with DJI. If you're buying the non-Fly More combo, it's almost not worth it to me, in my opinion. One of the reasons I love the Fly More combo is because of this. Listen to how satisfying this is. Oh, that one sucked. This is a little hub that DJI gives you to charge up your batteries all at once. It's super helpful. It saves a ton of time to be able to just drop your batteries in here and go, play in the park. If you're an adult, don't play in the park. Like, I mean, if there's like, I don't know, grown-up park, there should be grown-up parks. I'm starting the petition. Probably not going to start a petition. We have the remote, which honestly, I'm not even going to take out of the package because I'm selling this. I bought the DJI RC. I like the screen on the remote instead of having to like pop my phone up. So this is probably going to go somewhere on eBay. Let me know if you want it. And last but certainly not least, the drone itself. And I gotta say, the form factor looks very similar to the Air 2. And let me be super clear here. If you have an Air 2, you don't necessarily need to upgrade to the Air 2S. There are some features that have been improved, but unless you're flying professionally, which I am flying professionally a lot of the time, you really don't need to have any of those upgrades and features. And honestly, for professional work, I should have probably even stepped it up one more, but this camera will really get the job done in like 9 out of 10 cases, so I'm saving the money. Before you get rolling with your drone though, and I just want to point this out, always make sure that you're taking the batteries out and fully charging them, because you don't want to be in a position where you try to take this guy off or there's a firmware update or something like that and you're just not charged up, so don't be that guy. Now obviously I don't have the rotors on it quite yet, but I gotta say the build quality of this is so nice, and it has so many sensors all over it. I mean, you can see right on the front there, we have sensors right in the front and just kind of up top above. So that's gonna really help with your obstacle avoidance and collision detection. Hopefully you're not colliding with anything, so it doesn't have to detect anything, but it'll help to stop that from happening. If you're familiar with the old Air 2, it unfolds the exact same way. And just like the old Air 2, I will always unfold the wrong arm first. So again, in practicing what I preach, this battery's coming out of here and that's gonna get charged before I do anything else. This camera is beautiful. So we have a 1-inch sensor on this camera, which is absolutely insane for a drone of this size, which means it's just gonna help to let in a lot more light, a lot more detail. Just actually amazing that we can fit this into drones now. I remember when I first started flying drones and it was just like a pipe dream to have image quality like this. I will say one thing that I don't love about the Air 2 and the Air 2S and a lot of their Mavic line that's not the Pro line is this gimbal guard. It's very clunky to kind of fit on there. You always kind of got to like snap it in, and I always feel like I'm going to break the gimbal. It's not the best experience. Whereas with some of their higher end drones like the Mavic 3 or the Mavic 3 Cine, you get this sort of strap that goes over the whole drone itself and holds it all into place, which to me feels a lot more secure. And then of course, if you are sticking with the case that comes with the Fly More combo, we have the case, which has this awesome little shoulder strap. Inside, it is pretty spacious. I mean, I don't know how well you can see that on the camera, but there is quite a bit of room in there. I just always find that once I have the batteries in, once I have the chargers in, if I'm in a hurry trying to unpack stuff or repack stuff, it always just feels a little crammed to me. And I think there's a reason that it comes with an extra box outside of this for the extra rotors and the ND filters. It just feels too crammed in this case for my personal taste, but that might not be the case for you. Might not be the case. I actually did not even intend for that to be a pun. So I will definitely be making a video on my first impressions of this drone, but I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about the DJI Air 2S? If you have one, if you're looking to get one, I'd love to answer any questions that you have. As I'm getting to know this drone a little bit better, I'll be happy to share my feedback with all of you. And with that, I'm gonna go get this thing set up so that I can go fly it. I think it's snowing today, so I might wimp out and wait an extra day. It's tricky flying in snow. You don't want stuff freezing up there. And anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.